3, 2, 1. Wake up!
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, July 7th, 2018. I think the market just put me to sleep. I'm pretty sure that's just what happened. I apologize. I'm sorry. But it's been 5 days or so of just pretty sideways trading. I mean, this is crypto. Where are the 10%, 15% gains and losses per day at? Come on now. Come on. But yeah, let's look at it. Let's look at Bitcoin and Litecoin. I'll try and make this brief. I mean, for a technical analysis YouTube video, it's hard when you're just kind of trading sideways and nothing is happening in terms of price movements. And you can really see it right there. These 5 days really just sideways trading. Yesterday I did a video about a possible pullback because you can see the stock RSI pretty overbought. And in that overbought area in the past, I mean, like the last 11 or 12 times or whatever it was that we talked about, we've seen a bounce off that stock RSI 100 area to kind of have a pullback. And those pullbacks have ranged from anywhere from 7 to 25%. So a pullback wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, but we talked about possibly happening yesterday. So in terms of where Bitcoin is right now, pretty simple. You can see it on the daily. Lower highs have been forming. This sideways trading area that we're in right now, just another lower high. And until we actually approach this previous lower high of around $6,700 and actually break it to create a new high there, and also at the same time probably breaking the 50 EMA on the daily, we really don't have much to talk about in terms of upside. But if that happens, that would be a phenomenal bullish type of scenario happening. Will it happen? Not sure. Something interesting to look at on the stock RSI, or not on the stock RSI, on the RSI, is right around this 45 to 50 area on the RSI where we are now is a key area if you look back at the chart. So right around that area on the RSI back in that last breakout after second bottom is when that breakout happened. And you'll also see right around that area in that initial huge breakouts that we had in November, you'll see the RSI was hanging out right around that 50 area then as well. So in terms of momentum, we have a lot of upside to go in something that can prepare us for breakouts. But until that happens, you got to be prepared for both an upside and downside scenario. So one thing I will point out in the 4 hour that is pretty cool is obviously you see the lower highs there, and you see that resistance at that previous lower high that we had around, what was that, 20th. We didn't break that. But one thing that is pretty cool is we actually got above the 50 EMA on the 4 hour, and we've traded above it for around 7-8 days now, which is not something we have done since we've had that high back in May or whenever it was, I believe May. So that's a nice indicator. That's something to look at in terms of if we do have some momentum, but obviously we have to stay above that 50 EMA. We don't want to break down at this point because we're going to have to start talking about supports down there, 5,000 and 5,800 again. And obviously nobody wants to do that. Litecoin, pretty much same scenario. You see it on the daily, and you see the lower highs on the daily. Little bit more volatile than Bitcoin lately. You can see right now even Litecoin's down a little over 3%. Bitcoin's down a little over 1%. 4 hour, same story. There's that previous lower high right around the 20th, and I believe that's the 19th or 20th. And let me change this to the 4 hour. Be a little bit easier to see. So there's that previous lower high, and until we break it, same thing. Can't really start talking about a bottom. However, one thing I will point out is breaking that previous lower high on Litecoin would also, obviously it would be a bullish scenario, just breaking that previous lower high and hopefully defining a bottom, but a very nice thing to happen. Good for sentiment. Good for the mentality of it is breaking that 200 EMA on the 4 hour as well. Last time we did that, last time we were above the 200 EMA on the 4 hour was in beginning of May, and a nice cross of that 50 EMA crossing above that 200 EMA on the 4 hour would be a really, really good indicator of a bottom. and hopefully some good times ahead. This isn't a downside video. Be prepared for the downside, be prepared for the pullback, but wanted to just give you an update here on Saturday. Really not much has changed. If you're watching this video, I appreciate you checking in and spending some time with me today as we kind of see what happens. One interesting thing that did happen today is Litecoin broke $80. We're below $80, but didn't aggressively break through. So not that big of a deal as of now. We'll track it. If anything crazy happens today, I'll be doing another video, if not a live stream. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you part of the channel. As always, I will see you in the next video, and God bless.